So we have 5 questions here. First question is on bilingualism. Our daughter has SM, diagnosed at age 3, now 5 years old, and in kindergarten. We are raising her bilingual. Her father speaks Swiss, which is the local dialect. Mother speaks Dutch. Now, a third language has come into the mix via her grandparents and TV, which is German. At school and with her playmates, she speaks Swiss, the local dialect, again. With me, she only speaks Dutch. Lately, though, I've noticed she's starting to speak German. I cannot speak Swiss, but I can speak German. We try to be consistent in who speaks which language to her, so she learns them correctly and doesn't mix them up. Which language would you recommend I speak with her in public? It's almost like a riddle.
Yeah, there's a lot here. There's a lot here. So your child is 5 years old and she's multilingual. So she's not just bilingual. And she primarily speaks Swiss at school and with playmates. So she is verbal there. And it sounds like you are telling me that she may be having give, take, back, forth communication, which is great in the language that she seems to be the most confident in. When you're saying what to speak in public, my response would be obviously the dialect of the area that you live, because that's where you want her to become confident speaking to waiters, waitresses, store clerks, going out and about in the community, playing a sport, doing an activity. If they're speaking Swiss there, we want to build that up. So let's say you spoke Swiss, she spoke Swiss, everybody spoke Swiss, but she was selectively mute. We'd be working in that language because that's the language she is the most comfortable in. So we want to
Swiss.
respect your culture. We want to respect your language. We want her to be exposed to whatever it is that you want her to be exposed to. But to
Mhm.
me, the language that I would be working with her in, at least with interacting with others as much as possible to help her build the social communication skills and confidence, would be the language that is spoken in the area that she lives. So if
Do you
you are
think
not speaking Swiss, certainly speak German with her, but interacting in public to bring her into social communication, it would take some knowledge in Swiss as you're bringing her into those situations, such as offering her choices in the language, having her write and read, whatever strategy she's using the verbal intermediary. So I would say that it would be Swiss. Now, as a parent taking her out, there may be others too that can take her out. So dad can take her out, maybe aunts and uncles, maybe grandparents, maybe family friends. So she's still getting that exposure in Swiss. So with you, we want to respect that. So if you're out and about in a store and you're speaking German to her, that's great. But when it comes to interacting in public, just understand that if you don't speak that language at all, I'm not sure how you would bring her into social communication in the language that is spoken in that area if you don't speak it, plain and simple. So that's how I see it. Unless you can learn the most basics in Swiss to bring her into social communication opportunities. You certainly can do frontline, handover, takeover, all of that to help her engage. But when people start to question her, if she isn't speaking directly to them, even with practicing of common questions, sandwich questions, action plans, hi bye copy game, whatever you're working on, if you could learn that in Swiss, great. If not, understand that you may be limited in that social communication interaction because it's going to be difficult for you to bring her into social communication.
Yeah. It's a complicated question because the mom doesn't speak Swiss, but she should speak Swiss in public just because she's living in a place that speaks Swiss,
It's hard
as
to
the local
overcome.
dialect.
Exactly. It's hard to overcome selective mutism if you're not speaking the language that the people are speaking in
Yeah.
when engaging and interacting with them. I mean, you can't. So you have to practice in the language that everybody's using. It does now, if let's say she moves to a new country, let's say she moves to Japan and she only knows Swiss, you're going to build it up in Swiss until you can get some Japanese. So, but if she does speak Swiss and the
Mhm.
people in the area do speak Swiss. So we don't want to, complicate things, but at the same time, we want to respect the mom's native language and have her work with her and engage with her. But that could be, out and about, just talking amongst each other. Because if the people don't understand German, that's going to be tough too, because then now you've got a language barrier. So the answer to the question, to make a very long story quite short, is Swiss.